morning. It's such a pleasure to have an interview with you. So we are here presenting ourselves for the first time, our new product, which we recently commercialized. The product, we call it as Knittai. So on a grand scale, knitting has been there for over 100 years, circular knitting machine especially. But the challenge, the real challenge of running a circular knitting is that we don't have a way to continuously monitor and provide feedback to the machine. So the problem becomes something like, if you have something that's not monitored, there is always a very high chance that something goes wrong. So in a circular knitting machine, even the best factories see about 1 to 1.5% of waste fabrics. And this predominantly happens because the operator did not see the machine producing a faulty fabric. I don't think so we can really blame the operator. It's really difficult to catch some of these tiny defects. So we kind of build the feedback system for the circular knitting machine. That's our, let's say, key goal number one. Whenever something goes wrong, we try to catch, provide the feedback, and that's what Knittai is all about. So I've been like, knitting has been an adventure. Before this adventure, I have been working in the field of computer vision. Right? First, I worked with Philips Healthcare, where we did medical imaging. We focused on capturing some of the defects that the physicians, radiologists could miss. You know, monitoring thousands of images, there is a very high chance even the best of the best doctors could miss something, right? So I was working with Philips Healthcare on those technology, and then I was working with Toyota on autonomous cars. Autonomous cars, the computer vision part of autonomous cars, that's what I was working on. And then as life goes, we incidentally bounced upon knitting and the problems almost every knitters face. And then we thought, hey, why not solve this problem? And here we are, 2.5 years or 3 years, having a product, launching it, already realizing, having some happy customers, not just in India, as well as in countries like Uzbekistan, Turkey. So we are here to really make knitting easier. I think I would have to reminiscence my last 2.5 years into answering that one. When we came across when I saw that there is a need for such a solution, that is, you see a defect in the knitting machine and you need to stop it. It kind of looked, even for me with reasonable experience in this field, it's a 6-month problem to attack and solve with a reasonable team. But then it took really about 2 years for us to build a product which is reliable enough and solves the problem in full for the customer. Once we install our machine, the customer is kind of completely dependent on us, and it kind of, they get habituated to the solution that we offer. So we had to be very reliable to begin with. That's one thing. And under the hood, they call it the long tail problem. If you know, you could solve 80% of the problem fairly quickly, but then getting to 90, 95, it takes a lot more effort. And then still we are not 100%, but I think we fairly cover 97, 98% of the problems that on a common day-to-day basis that knitters face. Going through this journey of understanding, even though there have been like very experienced knitters who have been fortunate to share their knowledge with us, a lot of customers in India and outside India, our development not just happened in India. India is fairly new to knitting, as opposed to their knowledge in spinning. So we started with India, we learned a lot of basics from India, and then once we ventured into other countries, and some customers who have been in the knitting field for over 30-40 years, they helped us really understand the application. And and with their application knowledge, working, I think when we started, I didn't know what is single jersey, what is double jersey, and all of those things. Today, I think I'm fairly confident to say that I can at least converse with a person who has been in the knitting field for quite some time. So, what parameters do go into knitting? What are the key defects that you would find in certain type of fabric, and how do we capture that thing? What are the challenges? What is the commercial benefit if we catch those things? So all of those were like soft learnings which we had to kind of imbibe and kind of mix with our solution to offer a product which makes sense to the customer, right? So that's been the journey. It's been a back and forth journey. We did couple of prototypes. We changed we went through many iterations, tough days, happy days, and finally happy to be here. I think having a lot of competitors, I think, kind of justifies that a need for such a solution in the market to begin with. And I think AI has kind of helped us match these solutions. And I think people have realized, especially the OEMs have realized that customers need this solution, and they have started trying their own part of it. And then I think I would probably consider that typically there is only one competitor who has been in this space for a longer period of time than us. Most of the other people have realized that they need to make this thing. They have realized that there is a need, and they are attempting, if it is possible, to hit this solution. So yeah, so that's the landscape that we are looking at. Why Nitai? So I think we are an inspection company building an inspection solution, unlike few other companies whose domain has not been in the inspection. So that kind of helps us build a technically sound product, right? And the way that we have constructed the product compared with other global players and in the OEMs, we are different. Anybody who looks at our camera construction, the way where we have placed the lights and camera would kind of definitely agree with us on that. I have been having talks with our competitors over the last few days. They are like surprised at how we were able to solve the problem in the way that we have done. We were forced kind of to solve the problem in this manner because I felt that this is the sweet way to solve this problem, right? Some of them are using 8 cameras, 10 cameras to capture a fabric which is rotating. I felt that if a human can sit outside the machine and inspect reasonably well, cameras are far more powerful than the human eye today. We can use, the software is more challenging to build such a software, but I think this gives a lot of advantage to the customer. One, in terms of maintenance, and we capture the defect quite early compared to most of our competitors. So capturing the defect early does matter. We can go on and detail and talk about why it matters, but it does matter for now. And I think knitting is a dusty environment. If you have to have multiple cameras which are, or even sometimes single camera which is fit in a position which is inaccessible, right? Kind of makes things harder for the operator. And today maintaining workers is also a challenge. So I think we are pitching towards a fit and forget solution. Easy to maintain, clean. How would you put it? Like omni kind of one product that kind of fits all types of knitting machines. Single jersey, double jersey, multiple brands. So yes, there are small differences even within our product, but fundamentally you give us a Maya machine or a Pilotelli or any other Pilum or whatever machine, our solution stays the same. And to add, this also has given us another fundamental advantage, because today AI is about data. We have been in the field, we have already tons of data, and having a common kind of setup running for all the machines has given us another distinctive advantage. Let's say you are running a particular style fabric in Mayer machine, and we have the data in our database, and we want to install it in another brand. We are almost ready for you, right? So that gives us another edge over our competitors in terms of AI side, and we have been customer centric, having really developed the market, developed the product across tough geographies, I would say, has given us a deeper understanding of a customer who is going to use the product not like a delicate baby. They are going to thrash your product, they are going to make it harsh for you. So we have gone through tough challenges. I think these tough challenges has made the product stronger and what it is today. I think there are number of opportunities. At this moment, we would like to stay focused on the knitting. It's a huge opportunity. It's a problem that I think needs more focus, more energy. Even with 2 years of effort, we are still seeing some new patterns that we have not seen, new challenges, new requirements, and we are kind of, I think it's evolution that we are going through at this point of time. Nevertheless, the experience even at Turkey has been very interesting. The number of customers, maybe from weaving and sock knitting and so on and so forth, like some technical fibers who have come to our booth and said like, can you do this for me? Can you do this for me? I think we have marked it on the corner of our blackboard. Maybe we will do it. When we would do it, it's something that I don't have an answer at the moment. So we are kind of focused. It's a huge market to tackle, and I think doing this also will kind of benefit us to go into the further value chain more strong, because fabric data and understanding of fabric, even though we have been in the spinning, I think this is our first experience with fabric. So really we are understanding the fabric, the problems with the fabric, and I think we can eventually go to the subsequent value chain processes, and we are very excited about it. It's very distracting and very tempting, but I think at this moment it's good to stay committed on what we have started.